Alright guys, this is all about Mojo items. I got my teal, I got a wing thing here. This is going to be a video all about adapting the wing thing. But first off, Mojo teal, this is the only one I use. Use it for dove hunting, I use it for duck hunting. It's small enough that I can fit it in a bag. You know, I love this little guy. It spins like crazy, does everything I want it to do. Couple of adaptations that I made to this thing. First off, I put the battery switch up on top. Now don't do like I did and throw the battery switch or the on-off switch guard away. I don't know why I did that, but I did. If you do that, all you gotta do is find you a bottle cap that, see, if something pushes the outside of it, it will not turn it on, but you can still reach inside and turn it on whenever you need to. A bottle cap it's got to be deep enough that it'll cover the switch. So I got to find another bottle cap for my Mojo teal because my batteries went dead last night inside the bag. But anyway, I drilled a hole down in the tail of it all the way through the inside, and the reason I did that was because the other day whenever I was hunting, I'm always in salt water, and the wind was pushing up so bad that it started getting water in it, and of course the switch goes normally right here, and the switch was just getting soaked, and it ended up tearing it up. So all I did, I relocated the switch on the back of it. That's all I did. And before I put the switch on there, I put some silicone underneath it. But now I'm going to have to take it off and put me a bottle cap on there because for some reason I threw away the switch protector, and the batteries are dying in my bag. They're getting pushed. And then of course the battery just floats on the inside. But that's what I did to that. No big deal. Now this little guy right here, the reason that it was getting wet was because I was using the stand that comes with it, and of course it's not tall enough. You know, I was in knee-deep water, and whenever you're in salt water, knee-deep water is sometimes hard to find, and of course you're dealing with tides, so the water started coming in before my hunt was over and it ended up getting it wet. So I always like to use conduit. I can use a 5-foot piece of conduit whenever I'm in salt water. I can push it down to be as shallow as I want. I can bring it up and make it as tall as I want. I like conduit. However, this piece right here will not fit into a piece of 1/2 inch conduit, and it's too small to fit a piece of 3/4 inch conduit tightly. It just wobbles around. This guy right here is a 1/2 inch T, right, for 1/2 inch PVC. I painted it green, but it fits on that tight, okay? It also fits 1/2 inch conduit very tight. So that's an easy solution right there. You just throw it in your bag, slide it on there, slide it onto the conduit. It doesn't affect the birds. I've already used it plenty. It doesn't affect them at all. And I can make that I can make the conduit 10 feet, I can make it 5 feet, I can make it 3 feet. Conduit is $2 a stick. You know, 1/2 inch conduit. I love it. It's easy to paint, it's galvanized, it doesn't rust nearly as easy as anything else. It's not as flexible as PVC. It's a great thing. You know, if you lose it, no big deal. You can go to the Lowe's and get another piece, whatever. That's all I've done to that. That right there, use it for 1/2 inch conduit. But you got to get the T. I can't find any other piece. A coupling will not work. A Y will not work. I can't find any other piece that'll work right. You have to use the T. Okay? So that's the Mojo teal. Now, here's the wing thing. Now, we all know these wing things. I don't know who came up with the quality of the housing on the wing thing. Normally, this battery plate, and on my other one, it wouldn't even stay on there, which is why I came up with this idea. But this, you know, whatever. I don't know why they do that. So this is what I came up with. Okay, It's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more bulky, but let me tell you something, it's jam up. And if it's on a piece of 1/2-inch conduit, which I carry 3 sticks with me, 3 sticks of conduit for one teal Mojo and 2 Wing Thangs, and I love them. Okay, they're easy to carry, and it's not watertight, but doggone if it ain't close to it. Okay, there's your battery pack, slides up in there, and I'm gonna show you on this video how to make this exact thing. Okay. Very simple to do, very quick. Bam, there it is. You know, it's pretty doggone simple. Wop, 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 wop. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. Take this first off. Take your screws out of the end. I've already done it. Then just unscrew your switch housing. Don't lose that. Don't lose that guy right there. Don't throw it away. Pull everything out. Before you pull the motor out, you have to disconnect the 2 motor ends. Now, it doesn't matter if you lose which side which is on, because all it does is reverse the turn. And in this case of the Wing Thing, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. Just take it out. That's the inside right there. Then just pull your motor out. Okay. Then you have an empty housing. Now, here's what you need. 1.5-inch piece of conduit right there. I'm not sure how long it is, but I'll get a measuring tape and I'll measure it. 1.5-inch. That's a female thread on one side and a straight coupling on the other side. 1.5-inch male thread. Coupling on that side. Okay. Then you have a reducer. It is nothing. It's kind of weird looking. I'm not sure it's the same as my other one. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, because it fits inside. All right. A reducer to 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch reducer right there. 1/2 to 3/4 inch. Then you have a 3/4 inch threaded with the 3/4 inch. It's a 1/2 inch. Is that a 1/2 inch? Yeah. This reduces to a 1/2 inch. Doesn't say it on there. 1.5 by 3/4. So that's a 3/4 inch reducer. Male on one side, 3/4 inch coupling on the other side. Screws right in. The reason you need that is because the inside of this threaded piece right here fits over 1/2 inch coupling like a glove. Okay, slides right over it, fits tight enough that it's not wobbling. It's a good fit. Okay, and it's not the outside piece. So if you slide it on the conduit, it'll wobble around. It's the inside of that threaded piece that fits tight like a glove. Okay, so you need that. Now, most important piece here is the cap, the 1.5 inch conduit cap. Now, in the 2-inch, you can find a flat cap. It's just flat as it can be. And in the 1.5 inch, I can't find that. So I put it on the belt sander and I sanded that bad boy flat. And the reason is because the neck of this thing is not long enough to reach through this cap and be able to stick out far enough for your wing. So you have to do it. And also, the screws that come with the motor aren't long enough to reach through the depth of that cap. So put it on a belt sander, sand it down flat, and it should look something about that height right there, somewhere around there. You'll know it whenever you start doing it. Okay, first off, sand that flat as you can. Then stick your housing on top of it. Get it as centered as possible. Take a Sharpie go to your center first, your big hole. Now a Sharpie will not work for the screw holes. You have to use a pencil or something else. So mark your holes, okay? You'll come up with something that looks like that. That's not hard, it's not rocket science. Looks like that. I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to go drill the holes. Oh, also, you need to drill a hole for your switch, okay? So once you drill the hole for this, then go ahead and mount your motor into it, and you'll get your distance that you need, because the switch needs to be just under the motor, okay? So once you get it all mounted into place, just take the distance for your motor there and just mark it, you know. Come down 3/4 inch or so underneath your motor and just mark it. No big deal. And then drill you a hole for your switch. That's all you got to do with that. Okay. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be back and we'll put it together. Alright, we're back. So, I drilled that out, and then I measured my piece, and I drilled that out. Now, this piece is 5 1/4 inches long. I measured it for you. Now, I didn't measure before I cut it. I just did a rough estimate. Alright, and before I forget, I drilled this hole so in case any water gets inside this thing, that's the lowest point on it. It'll immediately drain out and it won't sit inside and get stuff wet and corroded. Okay, that's why I drilled that hole. I don't think I said it before. Now for this next part, I'm going to show you this. I went to Radio Shack and I got some screws for this motor because I knew the screws that I had that came with it were going to be too short. Now I got the 4x40 mixed bag. It's not the same thread. I'm not sure what thread it is. You'd be smart to take the screws to Radio Shack with you and they can get you whatever you need, but the ones I have are not the same thread, but they work, so I really don't care. You have your inside wiring, you have your motor. Now, I had to sand this a little bit more. You want this collar right here on that motor kind of flush with the top of your PVC. That's what you want. You want it to be flush, okay? Turn your PVC to match the holes. Now these are the 1/4 inch, 4x40 1/4 inch, and they're working, the screws. I think the ones that come in, and I'm not sure what size they are, they're 3/16 or something, I don't know, they're awful short. So, there, the motor's locked into the top. Test fit my wing. Works on there, no problem, okay? Let me make a suggestion that I didn't think of. Don't put this into your pieces before you're ready to, okay? If you beat it in there, you're not getting it back out. At least not very easily. I did get it out, but not very easily. Alright, before you put that in there, take your housing. You're going to need to take this piece right here off of the switch. All that does is just hold the wires together so that they're not pulled on, but it's not long enough with it on there. So take that ring off of the switch and pull your wires out. Okay? Like I said before, it does not matter if you're